1, 2, 3. Hey there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome and thanks for joining me. In this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about Freddie King's tune Hideaway, which is one of his classic, probably most famous tunes, certainly most famous instrumental tune. And while I'm only going to walk through, we'll go through the first chorus, and I'll share there's a couple other kind of cool riffs that come up a little bit later on. The main thing that I want to demonstrate is how well in this tune it's a great opportunity to sort of do that mixing rhythm with lead thing that a lot of people ask about, a lot of people struggle with. And it's a great opportunity to practice really keeping the beat and keeping the rhythm going in your mind while you're playing other things. So let's kind of walk through it. It starts with a simple little riff here, which comes from the E major blues scale. We're in the key of E, but we're going to use the major sound. So we're going to strike that B, hammer onto the C sharp, and hit the open E above it. 1, and we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, when that happens at beat 1, that's what's called a pickup. Okay, a pickup is a couple of beats before the downbeat of the song. So this is a pickup into the beginning of the tune. So when you have a pickup like that, the last note of that pickup in this case is the first beat of the rhythm, which is our basic blues in E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Right? Standard thing that we do all the time, or at least often. So we are going to strike that on beat 1. We're going to slide from the F sharp to the G sharp, the 2nd to the 4th fret on the 1st string. You have to imagine, sort of in your mind, that when you strike that note, well, that's beat 1, that's the start of the riff. Because you're going to come from that note back to the riff. 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2 and 3. 4 and 1. So now we're going to put another little fill. But notice how we played all the way up until beat 1. 3, 4, 1. Now on beat 2, B, C sharp, E. That was beat 2. 2 and 3 and go up to that G sharp again. Now we're going to play F sharp pulls off to E, down to C sharp. That's 4 and 1. Again, we're going to have an open E. We're going to have a note on beat 1. So there's all this crossing the bar, right? And I talk about this a lot, that licks don't start on beat 1. You've got to get used to really sort of being aware of beat 1. So again, coming through this from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, this next part, if you want to make it easy on yourself, it's 3, B, C sharp, E. 2 and 3 and 4 and That's if you want to make it easy on yourself. Truth be told, I think that's what Freddie King meant to play. What actually comes out is B, C sharp, B. So he plays, so he goes B to C sharp, back to B the first time. I happen to think that might just be he struck the wrong string, intended it to be an E, hit the B, it works just fine, so he left it alone. Back then, you know, overdubbing and that sort of thing wasn't trivial, so he may have just used the best take and gone with it. But if you want to make it easy, 2 and 3 and 4 and just playing the same thing 3 times in a row. If you want to really be accurate to the recording, B, C sharp, B, B, C sharp, E, B, C sharp, E. But either way, the beat's the same. 2 and 3 and 4 and now we're at the end of bar 4, so it's time to move on to the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And notice we have the little 2nd fret to the 6th to the, and I mean 6th as in the 6th scale degree, 4th fret on the 4th string. And we're going to go up to the flat 7, which you could do with a slide. Okay, but this is a common variation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you can see I'm going from the 6th to the flatted 7th, from the 4th fret to the 5th on that 4th string. And we're going to have this again. Same as we did before. B, C sharp, E, G sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, E. In time, coming from the 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again with this same thing 3 times in a row. B, C sharp, E, 3 and 4 and Now, if you're following along with the 12-bar form, it's time for the 5 chord, the B7. Okay, instead of actually playing the B7, he's going to play a little melody here. 1, 2, 3. So F sharp, G sharp, E. 1, 2, 3 is the open, and then 4 and F sharp pulls off to E down to C sharp. So again, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and continuing on. This would normally be the A7 chord, but he's going to continue playing while the band plays the chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and we've seen that before. B, C sharp, E, 2 and 3 and now we're going to have B, A, B is 4 and Now the last part is the only part that gets a little bit tricky counting wise. You're going to play a hammer on to the G sharp from the open G on 1 and you're going to strike the open E. 2, just let that ring, and you're going to strike the 3rd fret D on the 2nd string. So 1 and 2 and slide up to a B at the 4th fret of the 3rd string on beat 3. 3 and you're going to strike the open E while you kind of get ready for beat 4. 4 and is A pulls off to G down to the E. Now you're going to strike on beat 1 so we have just that measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we have 1 is going to be the open E. Grab a B7 chord right now, even though you're not going to play it all at once. So that's 1, 2, So that's going to be the low B, the B on the 2nd string, and your 3rd finger that's on the A. So if we put those 2 bars together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you would start again or move on through the tune, which does a little thing. And there's some variations that come at this point. There are several variations of that idea that he does, but I don't want to get too carried away with that, because the main thing is you really, again, you have to get a really good handle on being able to go back and forth between the single note melody and the rhythm behind it. He's playing both. For a while he plays one, for a while he plays the other. But at no time does he get lost, right? That's what's important. At no time you should get lost. Should you get lost? That should never happen. All right, so let's walk down the whole thing nice and slow at a comfortable pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and you'd start over. One thing I should point out, I tend to use the middle finger on my right hand. After I come through, you'll notice that my middle finger on my right hand is often doing the plucking of that high E string so that my pick doesn't have to bounce all around. You are welcome to do that, or you can pick them all. You could do it either way. It's not like there's a right or a wrong answer. I've gotten very comfortable using my middle finger as sort of an additional pick. So if you do get used to that, that becomes very comfortable. It just makes a lot of sense on a riff like that. If you're not comfortable doing that, you may find that it's easier for you to just pick them all, okay? So I hope this kind of makes sense. For copyright reasons, I probably can't tab this out, but I think you can probably follow it fairly straightforward. As always, you can always just back up and watch again. It's the riff itself is not too hard. The melody is not very complicated. So I'm going to play it through one more time. I'll say closer to full speed. Let you try it. But as always, if you have guitar playing friends you think would dig this, please share it with them. And I am Riff Hellman from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Let's run it through one more time on our way out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.